I've got this board. This was a demo that I would have done, but I had to take it home before it was dry. So, as we've said many a time, you need to leave the boards flat to dry. So, this has not dried flat, and so this is what we've been left with. So what I'm going to do, I've just got some glass cleaner, just to make sure there's no oil sitting on the surface, which would stop any new paint from adhering. So I'm going to do a tree ring pour here, but I'm going to add some beads around the side. So let's start off with the pour. I want it lighter at the edge and darker in the middle, so I'm going to start with the light colours. So I've got some white, I'm going to do some silver, a bit more silver there, a little bit of turquoise, oh, it's a new one, let's take that off the edge. A little bit of the turquoise, not a lot at this stage, coming back with more white, more silver. I'm going to put a little bit of the fluorescent pink in, just because I like it. But this edge I want to keep really quite a bit of turquoise. Now this is going to give me dark at the edges and light in the middle, which is the opposite of what I had intended. I've done it the wrong way around, but you know what, let's carry on and see what happens. So I'm going to do this as a tree ring pour. These beautiful dark colours coming in first. Hey ho, it's the exact opposite of what I intended. That's a nice tree ring pour. Let's see. I'm going to put some dark around it, seeing as we've got our dark colours towards the edge. Just to give it something to travel with. I'm not going to quite go off the edges just yet. I'm just going to get it moving around a bit first. I only put a little tiny bit of that pink in, but that's really showing up. So I will have to do another one the opposite way round. Let's just keep this moving. Off the edge. I'm going to bring it back in so it's not quite so off. There's a lot more pink than I thought there would be for the small amount I used. Different colours will float on top of other colours more, sometimes less sometimes. I love this little bit here, it's like a cave system. Let's square that back up. So I've got a whole load of starfish, shells, beads, things I wanted to put into this one. I quite like this as is, but I'm going to do it just to show you how well things can settle in. If you put these in whilst the paint is wet, they will just dry into the paint and they'll be very secure. And one thing I am going to do before I add too much is just to torch this. There's no silicone oil in it, but it's just make sure there's no bubbles in there. Okay. A little pink pearl here, so that's obviously got to go in with the pink. It's not a real pearl. I quite like the way this is bringing the colours up from underneath as well. That's nice. Tending to put these sort of more as clusters than anything else. The thing with these little tiny ones, depending on how thick your paint is, they can kind of get a little bit buried. So you do have to be a bit careful. But you can wait a little time and do them when the paint has dried back a bit. Got these little ones as well. Yeah, little beads dropping onto the floor. It's going to be fun. If you don't like something, you can take it out. But I think the point of this for me was just play and see what happens. But we do have to wait. It's going to take a while to dry with all of those bits in there. So I think it's time to leave it be and see where we go.